Welcome to another episode of It's Not Just Football, because it's not just football. It's a way of life, it's a religion, it's a culture, and it's God's favorite sport. I am Marco Itena, and welcome to the show. Yeah, I know it's been a long time, and apologies for that. There were some technical issues, and I had to also work with the sponsor, as you've seen on the Instagram channel that I have. So yeah, welcome back. I'm not gonna lie, man. Football has been footballing, really. I know that I'm a Juve and a Liverpool supporter, and yeah, we've been struggling. I mean, yeah, if you look at where we are on the table, it's not good. But for other supporters, for other teams, it's the perfect season because look at where Sunderland is on the table. Look at where Roma is on the table in Italy. I'm not saying Roma is a small team, but we know Sunderland just came from the bottom of the Premier League, and they are where they are right now. And all this is just entertaining. So now Liverpool, we're seen as a team that people can beat. I mean, we've lost against Man United, a team that we are so used to beating in the league over recent years, and we lost against Chelsea. They've been giving us tough times, but we've also been known for beating Chelsea over the years. So yeah, I mean, like looking at competition all round, man. No one is safe, so it makes it entertaining. It makes rivalries and derbies, more, I don't know, more entertaining to watch. So yeah, and that actually brings us to uh, the theme of today's episode. It's about rivalries and derbies and the effect that it has on people. So yeah, man, with rivalries and derbies, it comes from obviously choosing a team that you support, whether you chose a team through childhood, obviously through childhood, for a lot or majority of football supporters. And how it's done is that, you either inherit the team that one of your parents support, or you support the team that your siblings support. So like with me, I obviously started copying my brother when I was young, supporting the team that he supports, and then I just saw the light, as I've explained in previous episodes. So yeah, I started off as an Arsenal, but when I started, branching out and looking for a team to support, I chose Juventus. And the reason why I also chose Juventus is because I wanted to just be different now, get out of my brother's shadow. And how I chose Juventus? Well, I chose Juventus because my brother is also a AC Milan supporter. So him being an AC Milan supporter, I obviously chose the rival team, the team that is considered to be the biggest rival. So Juve was the better choice for me to do. I could have chosen Inter Milan, but I didn't want to be associated with Milan, so I chose Juve. And yeah, so that's how I chose. I didn't inherit a team from either of my parents. Um, and I stepped away from the shadow of my brother with supporting the same team. So yeah, Juve was the team I chose, and with Liverpool, yeah, my brother, because of being an AC Milan supporter, in 2005 in the Champions League final, it was Liverpool against AC Milan. So obviously, I'm not going to support the team that my brother supports. So I jumped on the wagon of Liverpool. And yeah, the rest is history. We all know what happened in that 2005 final.
Gerrard! Hit by,
Yeah.
saved by Dean!
But yeah, so like with rivalries, there's you join a team because you just want to be against someone sometimes. So for me, like I said, I wanted to be against my brother, my older brother. So that's why I chose the teams that I support, and family rivalry. It's not a bad thing, Come game day, you have days where you're sitting on the same sofa, but that side of the sofa is theirs, and this side of the sofa is mine. It keeps the relationship burning. It keeps that fire sparking and stuff, and that's what I enjoyed. So, yeah, man, rivalries and what they do to people off the pitch, it it makes you want to, also learn more about the team that you're supporting. So, supporting Juve and Liverpool, I did the job. I did the effort of seeing where the team started, with Liverpool when they were established. The same thing with Juve, and what I like is that they broke away from their parent teams, which in Juve's case was Torino. We broke away from Torino and we established our own team, which was Juventus, of course, and with Liverpool we broke away from Everton and we started our own team, which was Liverpool. So yeah, teams end. I mean, fans and supporters end up, liking those types of, folklore or history that comes with the team. Breaking away and doing something for your own, which is basically what I went through, breaking away from supporting the same team with my older brother and just being my own person. And the same thing has been, something that I've been living through or living by with life. I love my siblings, obviously, and but you also want to have your own identity, and that's what I feel that football supporters do go through. They break away from the norms of what they teammates in the working environment support, or what the friends at school support and stuff like that, and just being something different, breaking away and staying in your own lane. And that's the effect that it has on the surrounding communities within within the football world. So yeah, man, there are also different derbies, and with different derbies, that means now this is when the dynamics of football gets a bit serious. Sometimes it gets serious. Sometimes it's just friendly derbies or friendly banter, like the Liverpool derby. I would say that that's quite friendly. You will find supporters sitting in the same section of rival supporters. Like in the Liverpool section, you will see that there is Everton supporter sitting with a Liverpool supporter, and they family members, growing up in the same household, but they support different teams. I would say that that's how it is in South Africa, because in South Africa we have the Soweto derby. Okay, there's two Soweto derbies, but the main Soweto derby is Chiefs versus Pirates, because those are the two most successful teams in South African football. So now, like, Europeans will kind of find it a bit strange at how South Africa do their derbies, because with the South African derbies, there's no assigned chairs or assigned seats for Pirate supporters or Chief supporters. They sit where they sit. And, like, if you just look at how the stands look like, you'll see that, oh, it's green and black, I mean, not green, sorry, damn it. Apologies, my bad. My bad. I was thinking about another team. I was thinking about Bloemfontein Celtics. But yeah, Bloemfontein Celtics is also a team that has its own rivals, which was Free State Stars. So there, the derby was because of, who wants to have bragging rights off the whole province, actually. So it wasn't as local as Chiefs and Pirates being from, like, the same town or the same city, but there in Free State, it's who better team in the province, and how supporters feel after that. You'll drive from like Bloemfontein to Kwakwa, and then after the derby, you wearing your Bloemfontein Celtics shirt, it's a thing of, my man, we won the derby. You guys must just shut up because we're the kings of the province for the whole month or season up until you guys play again, like in the reverse fixture. So yeah, that's what derbies have. Okay, that's what derbies do to people. You have that sense of pride. Walking around town for a good 6 months up until you play each other again. There are other serious derbies which I would say are hectic because these ones now transcend into tribalism. Yeah, tribalism. So a team that I can think of in the African continent that not a team, like these two teams that are in this type of a tribalist derby in football. And the two teams I can think of, I actually had a conversation with my colleague about it, and it is Dynamos and Caps. That's in Zimbabwe, and apparently those derbies, like, yeah, no, deja fatsi, it touches the floor, it eats the floor. But yeah, no, it goes down. Like supporters there. The reason why I say tribalist is because this derby is between the Shona tribe and the Ndebele tribe. So it gets very heated over there, and people in Zimbabwe support, majority of people in Zimbabwe support those two teams because those are the two biggest teams in Zimbabwe. But right now there's a new team coming up, a team that Kama Billiard plays for. It's called Scottish, and yeah, no, they have new money invested into that team. So yeah, they're doing wonders. But yeah, that's a tribal derby that I can think of in the African continent. If you go abroad, there is a team, Fenerbahce against Galatasaray. Yeah, that derby is heated. And if you see what happens, like amongst fans there, and the effect it has on people off the pitch, it's not only something that people say that, no, we're going to meet on the pitch and whatever happens on the pitch happens. Nah, these people literally fight each other off of the pitch. So these are the extremities that football rivalries and derbies have an effect on people off the pitch. So another one that I can think of abroad is I think it's called the Old Firm Derby. That's between Celtics and Rangers. That's in Scotland. So I could be, I don't know, a bit ignorant for how the derby or the history of this derby, but this is between the Catholics and the Celts. So these are people that are of Irish descendant. So they that's not a friendly. It's not a friendly derby. People there have. There's been cases where people have died. Outside of the pitch because of this rivalry and the deep-rooted history that these two teams have, and the history of the Celts and the Catholics. So yeah, that was quite hectic. And yeah, man, that just shows, like, again, the extent that rivalries and derbies can transcend with people off the pitch. So yeah, when we tell you that football is not Mickey Mouse, it's not a joke for some people. Yeah, you should really understand them, because I'm actually a person that takes football quite serious because I played the game and I still do consume the game, and the show, of course, is very football related. So, but I'm not as hectic as taking someone else's life. I value life, so when it comes to all these political stuff of, trying to, end another person's life and, the history of teams. Yeah, I understand the history and stuff, but wanting to be violent, that's not that's not the way to go. So I can get into a heated argument and discussions with another person, and yeah, allow me to be there because that's how I am with football. I've been in a couple of heated arguments, football related, and some of them have ended in not talking to people for quite a long time just because of football. But yeah, another rival, oh no, not rival, another derby I can think of is the team that I support, of course, in Italy. That is obviously Torino and Juve. I've already explained, that one they call Derby, and that one it's the Battle of Turin, bragging rights as usual. And then there's obviously Juve against the Milan teams, which they call the Derby d'Italia. So that one is quite hectic. I actually enjoy that one as well, especially when we play against Inter Milan, and especially what happened this year. We call it now the Thuram Derby because the Thuram brothers play for the two different teams, and obviously Lilian Thuram has played for Juve in the past. So yeah, having Kefran Thuram playing for us is a positive, because he has his father, behind him because he played for Juve. So yeah, man, that was quite dope. Liverpool versus Man U, that one is quite a serious derby because the history behind that is because of it had something to do with shipping lanes and ports and stuff like that. So the derby started because of the people. So you see, that's the funny thing. People first and then football later. So when you mix the two, football equals life. So anyway, so yeah, the rivalry between those two teams is hectic. But unfortunately for us Liverpool supporters, Liverpool fans, yeah, no, Man U pulled a number on us this year, and I'm not happy about that. I really am not happy about that. But the ball is round. Uh, they was supposed to be a losing team, and unfortunately, we lost the game that time. So yeah, man, there's lots of rivalries. Liverpool, we don't only consider Man U and Everton as our main rivals. There's the original Big Four that we do compete with, and every season those games are something to look forward to. So yeah, yeah, man. Rivalries and stuff. Like I said, this in the show we talk about the effects of how football has of on people off the pitch. So we've seen how bad it can get, and that's where you'll find hooliganism. I hope I said that word right. Hooliganism um, is, and it's quite hectic, I would say, in the UK and a lot in countries like Serbia and in Turkey. Those hooligans go AWOL, they kill each other. There's lots of stabbings that happened and stuff like that. Even in Italy, there's the battle of the ultras. So yeah, the ultras are these supporters that have all these banners and flags, and they light flares and stuff like that. So apparently there are some ultras that are affiliated with the mafia. So yeah, you see how you support your team, but then off the pitch, the mafia and sometimes the government is associated with what happens behind closed doors. So yeah, man, football football is no joke, man. It's no joke. So yeah, man, I actually thought of wanting to become a hooligan, but nah, man. At the expense or the cost of my life, nah, I'm cool. I'd rather be zealous and passionate off the pitch, with supporting the teams that I do support. So yeah, man, the effect that it has on people, when you go to school, you get to talk banter to your schoolmate that you beat over the weekend with a derby, and the same thing with work, and even at church. Sometimes you find priests that wear their team's kit underneath the robe that they wear at church. So after the mass is done at church, you'll see the pastor wearing his Liverpool shirt or his Juve shirt or whichever team he supports, and they have their football talk with all these different people, because outside of them being priests and pastors and spiritual leaders, they are also human, and their human side is supporting whichever football team they support, which is actually a nice thing, because it shows how human a lot of people are. So yeah, man, that's what football does to people, because at the end of the day, when you win a derby, like I've repeated so many times, bragging rights, people want the bragging rights, and having all those months to like one up on your rival supporter or rival fans, it feels good. Yeah, and that's it for today. But of course, we have to go into this segment of It's Not Just Football, and I call it It's Not Just a Quiz. So yeah, welcome to It's Not Just a Quiz, where you stand a chance to win a football shirt based off of the color of the theme of the channel, and you can have your name and a number of your choice on the back of the shirt. So all you have to do is answer this question and you will win the prize. So the question is, okay, it's not a question. Just answer, who are these two players standing in this picture? So comment in the comment section below. Whoever answers it first wins the shirt. So yeah, just answer who these two players are, and you can have your shirt by the end of, I don't know, the show, whatever. And yeah, as usual, we like to close it off with a quote from a player. And this player, the quote of today, is from who a lot of people consider now as the greatest of all time. He is one of the greatest of all time. He's not my GOAT, but he is one of the GOATs. And that's, of course, Lionel Messi. And this, I feel like, is the best quote that I've ever heard. So the quote is, football isn't something you can fake. It's a feeling, it's passion, and it's a lifestyle. So yeah, man, damn, that one, it hits home. Lionel Messi, salute for that quote. But yeah, that is an episode of It's Not Just Football. Hope you like, comment, subscribe, share the show, man. Let's get it to 100, man. I see that the subscription, we're almost halfway to 100. So let's try and get it to 100. Share it with everyone and anyone, even your dog or your cat. But yeah, hope you enjoy. See you next time, if it is next time. Peace. Yes, sorry. I almost forgot. As you can see, the teams that I have lined up today is South Africa, Nigeria, and Congo all the way at the back there. And the reason why I have them lined up is because of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Of course, we know South Africa has already qualified, but now the next game is Congo against Nigeria. So obviously, me being a South African Congolese or Congolese South Africa, I want Congo to win this game. So yeah, sorry, Nigeria, nice kit, fire, I like it. But this time I just hope Congo pulls through and come on, Leopard!
Whoa!